When you watch a professional golfer stand over a crucial tournament-winning putt on a Sunday afternoon, there's this illusion of absolute simplicity.
Yeah, it really does look entirely peaceful.
Right. I mean, it's the shortest swing in the entire game. It looks like a gentle pendulum. Just, a peaceful little tap, really.
It does. There's no violent physical coil, no aggressive weight shift.
None of that.
And no explosive release of energy like you see when someone is driving the ball off the tee box. It just looks like the easiest thing in the world.
Exactly. But then you step into the world of elite sports science, and suddenly that peaceful little tap reveals itself to be this incredibly volatile collision of geometry, biomechanics, and, well, physics.
Oh, absolutely. It's a whole different world under the microscope.
Okay, let's unpack this. Today's deep dive is an exploration into the science of elite putting. We are going to decode the precise physics of the putting stroke so you can essentially transform your game from relying on visual guesswork to utilizing objective, repeatable science.
It's the perfect mission for today. Because while putting is universally considered golf's simplest movement, it actually demands the highest level of precision.
Yeah, the margins are so tiny.
Exactly. Small, almost microscopic variations in how you stand can create massive, measurable differences in how that putter face ultimately interacts with the golf ball.
Which is terrifying, honestly.
Right. And what's fascinating here is that elite putting is never built upon compensation. It is built entirely upon consistency.
And to get to that consistency, we're pulling insights directly from the Puttalyze system. Specifically, we're diving into their module on setup and stroke mechanics.
A great place to start.
But right out of the gate, there is a major curveball here. You might think that to fix your putting, you need to fix the actual stroke, like how your arms move the putter back and through.
Which is what most people try to do.
Exactly. But the science here is obsessively focused on the setup, the address position before the putter even moves. So why are we dedicating so much time to how you stand rather than how you actually swing?
It's because of a really powerful, unavoidable domino effect. Your setup dictates the geometry of your entire stroke.
Okay.
If you break it down sequentially into a causal chain setup, creates movement.
Right.
Movement creates impact conditions, and impact conditions create ball behavior. Every movement you make once you take that putter away from the ball is heavily influenced by the physical boundaries you created with your posture.
Before the club ever moved.
Exactly, before the club ever moves.
It's like trying to build a custom house on a crooked foundation and then trying to fix it by leaning the walls at the last second to make the roof fit.
That is a brilliant analogy.
You're just constantly compensating. You might occasionally get the roof on, but a stiff breeze is going to knock the whole thing down.
Yeah, and a golfer should never need to consciously manipulate the putter during the stroke simply to recover from a bad address position.
It's too much work.
Way too much work. Let's think about the biomechanics. If your posture is slouched, your shoulder movement becomes mechanically restricted. You literally cannot create a smooth pendulum.
Makes sense.
If your distance from the ball changes from putt to putt, your natural swing arc changes every time. By starting in a flawed position, you're forcing your brain to make lightning-fast, subconscious mechanical corrections.
Just to make contact.
Just to hit the ball, yeah, in a fraction of a second.
Which means your timing has to be flawless every single time you putt. And let's be real, human beings just aren't built for that kind of repetitive or robotic perfection.
We really aren't.
So since impact is just the natural consequence of how you set up, we really have to dig into the physics occurring at the exact millisecond the putter meets the ball.
The moment of truth.
Right. So what does this all mean for the putter face itself? The research uses two highly technical terms that honestly sound completely identical to a layman. Face angle and face rotation. I mean, I know they aren't the same, but how do they actually interact?
They do sound similar, but treating them as the same thing is a massive roadblock to improvement. Let's separate them. Face rotation describes movement.
Okay, movement.
Right. It is a measurement of how quickly the putter face is opening on the backswing and closing as it moves through the impact area.
Got it.
Face angle, on the other hand, describes pure direction. It's simply where the face is pointing like a compass needle at any specific frozen moment in time.
So face rotation is the speed of the twist, and face angle is the actual geographical direction it's aiming when it hits the ball?
Precisely.
Yeah.
And here is why understanding the difference is so critical. Imagine a swinging door.
Okay.
If that door is slamming shut at high speed and you have to fire a laser pointer perfectly straight through the gap exactly as it closes, your timing has to be magical.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that would be impossible.
That is what high face rotation does. If your putter face is rapidly closing through the ball, your timing window to hit a straight putt becomes microscopically small.
So you have to be perfect.
You have to be perfect. You might accidentally deliver the face perfectly square on one putt, but a 1 millisecond difference on the very next putt means you missed the hole entirely.
Right.
The faster the rotation, the lower the consistency.
Okay, so you want to slow down that swinging door as much as possible to give yourself a wider margin for error.
Exactly.
But face angle is still the ultimate boss of where the ball ends up going, right?
Absolutely. The Puttalyze data leaves no room for debate on this. Face angle at impact is the single dominant dictator of the ball's starting direction.
Wow.
You could have a beautifully smooth stroke, a perfectly straight club path, but if your face angle is pointed 2 degrees to the right when it touches the ball,
That ball is missing, right?
that ball is missing right every single time.
That perfectly covers the left to right geometry, the horizontal plane. But what I found really surprising in this deep dive is how much emphasis is placed on vertical delivery.
The up and down physics.
Yeah. We are introduced to terms like attack angle, low point, and this vital distinction between dynamic loft and static loft. I mean, I always just assumed a putter was basically a flat piece of metal on a stick.
It isn't flat at all, actually. Every putter manufactured has built-in loft, which we call static loft. Usually it's somewhere between 2 and 4 degrees.
Okay.
But the golf ball sitting on the green doesn't care what the putter looks like when you hold it up in the pro shop. The ball only experiences the dynamic loft.
Meaning what's happening at impact.
Right. That is the actual real-world loft being delivered at the exact moment of impact.
And that dynamic loft changes based on how you swing.
Exactly. It's heavily influenced by whether your hands are leaning forward or backward and by your attack angle.
Right.
The putting stroke is a circle, an arc. The putter travels downward, reaches its lowest physical position, which we call the low point, and then begins traveling upward again.
So the attack angle is just where you are on that circle when you hit the ball.
Yes. Your attack angle is simply the vertical direction the putter is moving at the moment of impact.
Yeah.
Positive means it's moving up, negative means it's moving down.
Okay, but this raises a very basic question. Why does loft or attack angle even matter on a flat putting green?
It's a great question.
Because you are trying to make the ball roll along the ground, not, fly through the air like a wedge shot.
And this is a critical mechanical reality that most golfers completely ignore. A golf ball on a green is not sitting perfectly perched on top of the grass, like a marble resting on a sheet of glass.
It's not.
No. It has weight. It rests slightly down within the grass blades, sitting in its own tiny little depression.
Oh, I see.
So the putter must cleanly lift the ball out of that grassy depression before it can begin to roll smoothly.
That visual of the ball sitting in a tiny crater changes my entire perspective. It means you are essentially hitting a micro wedge shot every single time you putt.
That is exactly what you are doing. If you have too little dynamic loft, say you hit down on the ball with a negative attack angle, you trap the ball against the turf.
Driving it downward into that crater.
Right. And it will immediately pop up, bounce, and skid erratically.
And if you deliver too much loft?
You launch it into the air, completely losing speed control when it finally lands. You need just enough upward delivery to glide it out of its resting place.
Here's where it gets really interesting. If we understand all this intricate physics, the face angles, the rotation, the micro-wedging out of the grass, how do you actually map that onto your physical body?
That's the challenge.
Because if you open any traditional golf magazine, they preach a very rigid standard model. Bend your knees this much, hang your arms like this, and most famously, put your eyes directly, perfectly over the golf ball.
The golden rule.
Right. But this science completely rejects that one-size-fits-all approach.
It completely dismantles it. And for a very logical reason. There is no universally perfect putting setup because no two human bodies are identical.
Obviously.
You have unique height, unique arm length, shoulder structure, and spinal flexibility. But more importantly than all of that, you have unique visual perception.
The visual perception aspect genuinely blew my mind. The idea that standing differently literally alters how your brain sees the physical world in front of you.
It creates a powerful optical illusion. Let's take that traditional rule you mentioned, putting your eyes directly over the ball.
Right.
That works beautifully for some players. But for others, it is disastrous. If your specific visual system requires your eyes to be slightly inside the ball, but a coach forces you to stand with your eyes directly over it, your brain gets confused.
How so?
The intended target line might suddenly appear to be pointing way out to the right.
That is wild. So
Yeah.
you are standing over a crucial putt, and your brain genuinely, honestly believes you are aiming straight at the hole.
Yes.
But in reality, you are aimed a foot to the left. You hit the putt, it misses left, and immediately you blame your hands. You think, I must have pulled it, my stroke is broken.
Exactly. And this is the tragedy of bad coaching. You start trying to fix a mechanical flaw in your stroke that doesn't actually exist.
Because your mechanics were perfectly fine.
They were fine. You simply suffered from a visual distortion based on an incorrect eye position. And the exact same causality applies to ball position in your stance.
Because ball position changes that low point we talked about earlier.
Precisely. If you place the ball too far back in your stance near your trail foot, you are going to strike the ball while the putter is still traveling downward.
Before it reaches the low point.
Right. Your attack angle becomes negative, you drive the ball into the ground, and it skids. Move it too far forward, and you hit it too late on the upswing, launching it too high.
So there isn't one perfect spot.
No. The perfect ball position is simply wherever the ball needs to be for your specific swing arc to deliver the correct upward attack angle.
And this need for hyper-customization even applies to how you hold the putter. I mean, I always thought guys using the claw grip on the PGA Tour or going cross-handed were just following a trendy fad.
Or maybe fighting the yips.
Yeah, exactly. Older guys fighting the yips.
Not at the elite level. A grip should never be evaluated on how conventional it looks. It should only be evaluated by its ability to produce consistent face rotation and wrist stability.
Because it's your only physical connection to the club.
Right. Your grip is your only physical connection to the instrument. If you use a traditional grip, your dominant lower hand, usually the right hand, can get very active and flip the putter face closed.
That's our slamming door analogy.
Exactly, that's slamming door.
Right, so switching to a claw grip physically takes that dominant right hand out of the equation. It locks the wrist joint so you physically cannot rotate the face as fast.
Exactly. It neutralizes excessive wrist action. If a cross-handed or claw grip slows down your face rotation and gives you a wider timing window, then that is the scientifically correct grip for you.
So aesthetics don't matter.
Aesthetics and tradition don't matter at all. The physics do.
Okay, so if our eyes are lying to us about where we are aiming and traditional visual cues like a textbook grip are actually flawed, then old school coaching methods seem completely useless.
They often are.
Because a coach can't just stand behind you and say, yeah, your posture looks good. How should a player actually evaluate if their setup is working?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it requires a complete philosophical shift in how we approach improvement. You have to move away from visual guesswork and move toward objective measurement.
Okay.
You have to stop asking, does my setup look like Tiger Woods? And start asking, does my setup consistently produce the desired impact conditions for my unique body? We need hard evidence.
But I have to push back here because data can be tricky too. What about the weekend warriors who live on golf simulators?
Oh boy.
You know the ones. They stare at their average performance data all day long. A guy hits 100 putts, and the computer tells him his average face angle at impact is 0 degrees, perfectly square.
Right.
Doesn't that data prove his setup is flawless?
This raises an important question, and it highlights one of the most dangerous traps in modern data analysis. The Puttalyze material calls this out brilliantly.
Oh, really?
Average values can be incredibly misleading.
Yeah.
Let me give you a mathematical scenario. Imagine a golfer who hits 4 putts.
Okay.
On the first putt, they deliver the face 2 degrees open. On the second, 1 degree open. On the third, 1 degree closed. And on the fourth, 2 degrees closed. If you average those 4 swings together, the mathematical result is exactly 0 degrees.
Wow. The computer says perfectly square.
Yes.
But in reality, not a single one of those 4 putts was actually hit square.
Exactly. The average is a complete lie. That golfer just missed 4 putts in a row, alternating wildly left and right. But their average metric tells them they're doing fantastic.
That's crazy.
This is why looking solely at the mean average is deeply flawed. The system emphasizes that measuring your range and your standard deviation is vastly more important than your average.
Standard deviation can sound a bit intimidating. It's basically just a fancy way of measuring your dispersion, right?
Essentially, yes.
Like, think of a target at a shooting range. The average might be the exact dead center of the bullseye, but if you used a shotgun and the pellets are scattered wildly all over the paper, that average doesn't help you hit a precise target.
Not at all.
You want all those pellets grouped in a tight little circle, even if that circle is slightly off-center.
That is the perfect way to visualize it. A slightly imperfect average, say you are consistently hitting putts 1 degree open, but with a very tight standard deviation, is highly repeatable.
You can work with that.
You absolutely can. You just aim slightly left to accommodate your natural stroke. But a perfect average born out of a wide, chaotic shotgun blast range is a nightmare. You can never build consistency out of chaos.
Because consistency always beats perfection.
Always.
If you are wildly alternating left and right, you are just guessing every time you stand over the ball. So knowing that we need this objective data and we need tight dispersion rather than perfect averages, how do you actually apply this systematically?
Well, you don't.
You don't need to walk around with a $20,000 launch monitor in your golf bag to figure this out, do you?
No, you don't. But you do need a structured methodology. The source material outlines the 9-step Puttalyze assessment process. You shouldn't view it as just a list. It is a diagnostic funnel. It ensures that when your putting goes sideways, you find the actual root cause rather than just slapping a Band-Aid on a symptom down the line.
If I'm a player and I know my stroke is failing, I can't just guess which part is broken. Where do I even start diagnosing a broken stroke using this funnel?
You start at step 1, which is evaluating the setup, your posture, your balance, your ball position. You have to ensure the foundation isn't crooked.
Right.
Only when that is cleared do you move to step 2, which is face rotation. Is the face opening and closing too fast?
Okay, check that.
Then step 3 evaluates face angle at impact.
Wait, why does face angle have to be evaluated before club path, which is step 4? I always thought path was huge.
It is, but it's about causality. Remember, face angle dictates the starting direction. If your face angle is all over the place because your rotation is too fast, evaluating your club path is a waste of time.
Oh, because the face is ruining it anyway.
Exactly. You have to fix the face first. Once path is cleared, step 5 is contact quality. Are you hitting the dead center of the putter face, or are you striking it out on the toe or the heel?
I love that contact quality sits right in the middle of that sequence. I think a lot of people assume hitting it off the toe just means the putt will come up short because it lacks ball speed.
That's part of it, sure.
But it's worse than that, isn't it? Hitting it off center literally twists the putter head in your hands during impact.
It absolutely does. It's called the gear effect. You could execute a mechanically flawless, stroke-perfect path, perfect face angle. But if you strike the ball a half-inch out on the toe, the physical force of the golf ball will twist the putter face open.
And you will miss the putt to the right.
Exactly. If you don't diagnose your contact quality, you might start changing your beautiful stroke path trying to fix a right miss that was entirely caused by a poor strike.
Which leads right into step 6, measuring vertical delivery, our attack angle, and dynamic loft. Step 7 is ball launch. Step 8 looks at true roll. And finally, step 9 evaluates repeatability across all those parameters. This entire diagnostic funnel really highlights the concept of practice with purpose.
It is arguably the most important behavioral takeaway. You have to stop mindlessly dropping 3 balls on the practice green and hitting putts while thinking about your grocery list.
Right. You have to link your practice drills to a specific piece of feedback within that 9-step funnel.
Definitely.
Like if you want to isolate and evaluate your face angle, use a Startline drill. Put a gate of 2 tees in the grass about a foot in front of your ball and see if you can putt cleanly through it.
A classic drill.
Yeah. If you clip a tee, your face angle is off. Or if you want to test your strike quality, use a center contact drill. Wrap rubber bands around the toe and heel of your putter face.
That one is brutal.
It is. If you don't hit it dead center, the rubber bands will aggressively cure the putt. Practice only becomes effective when every single stroke answers a specific diagnostic question.
And when you apply constraints like rubber bands or a T-gate, you transform mindless repetition into genuine, accelerated motor learning. Your brain figures out how to solve the puzzle.
Pulling all these mechanical variables together into a cohesive philosophy, there was one finding regarding step 8 true roll that really caught me off guard.
Ah, yes. The transition phase from skidding to rolling.
Exactly. I think every golfer who has ever watched a putting tutorial online believes that achieving true roll, getting the ball tumbling end over end as early as physically possible, is the ultimate holy grail of putting.
It's what everyone teaches.
Right. But the source material says chasing early true roll is actually a misconception.
It is a very common trap. The point where the ball stops sliding or skidding across the grass and begins pure forward rotation is called zero skid.
Okay.
Now, while an efficient launch out of that grassy crater is important, the true objective is not getting to zero skid as early as possible. The true objective, as always, is consistency.
So are you saying it is better to have a little bit of skid as long as it is the exact same amount of skid every single time?
Precisely. Think about how your brain learns distance control. If your ball reaches true roll at the exact same distance off the putter face on every single putt, your brain learns exactly how much energy to apply.
Because it's predictable.
It becomes incredibly predictable. But if you relentlessly chase exceptionally early true roll and you achieve it on one putt, but then you slightly mishit the next putt and it skids for 2 feet, your distance control will be wildly chaotic.
Wow.
The consistency of the transition is vastly more valuable than the speed of the transition.
So what does this all mean? Consistency always beats perfection. That
Yeah.
really is the core lesson of this entire deep dive.
It truly is.
That and the profound realization that you cannot separate the golfer from the tool. Your equipment, your putter lengths, the lie angle, the head weight has to work seamlessly together with your technique as one integrated system. Your address position dictates your movement dictates your impact, and impact dictates the ball.
The body and the putter function as one unified system. A tiny change in your spinal angle alters your eye position.
Right.
That visual distortion alters your shoulder motion. That shoulder motion alters your club path. Putting simply must be analyzed as a complete causal chain of events.
So I want to leave you with a thought to mull over before you next step onto the practice green. Think heavily about your own visual perception. The next time you miss a crucial putt, ask yourself a hard question. Is your mechanical stroke actually failing you? Or is your brain simply perceiving the target line differently from reality based on a tiny change in your posture? Are you spending hours trying to fix a mechanical flaw that doesn't actually exist? If you found today's episode valuable, please subscribe to our channel. Every subscription helps us continue producing evidence-based golf education for golfers and coaches around the world. If you have a golf question, topic idea, or challenge you would like us to research, test, or explain, please leave a comment, contact us on LinkedIn, or send us an email. If you're ready to improve your putting performance, join our 30-day Puttalyze Green Reading and Putting Certification course, where you'll learn green reading, speed and distance control, setup, alignment, aim, stroke mechanics, and a proven system for reading greens with greater confidence and consistency.